The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Well, this noble thought of Mahatma Gandhi is not only by him but of many others, not only individuals but also of many organizations. Now, talking about organizations, the organizations can be divided on the basis of the activities they perform. Well, some of the organizations perform activities solely for the profit motive, whereas some of the organizations perform their activities for the noble cause of the service of society, that is, service motive. But whatever be their motive of activities, they will be performing some economic activities, that is, the activities involving financial transactions. Now, wherever financial transactions are there, accounting would be there. Well, so today you're gonna learn accounting with a pinch of social work with me, Dr. Aarti Mudaliar, Department of Commerce, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Yes, you got me right. It is accounting for non-profit organizations. Well, now you all must be wondering that are you going to learn entirely different set of accounting records for this different type of organization? So no, there's a good news that most of the things in these organizations from the accounting point of view are similar, but there would be certain differences which we will be discussing now. So let us differentiate the activities of non-profit organization and the profit-making organization step by step on the basis of certain elements. The first one being the purpose. As we have discussed earlier, the profit-making organization has the main objective of earning profits, whereas a non-profit organization is set up with the main motive of furthering certain religious, cultural, educational, professional or public services. The second one being funds. Well, the funds are being raised in a profit-making organization in the form of capital contributed by owners or by partners in the partnership organization or as a share capital if we are talking about joint stock companies. Whereas in a non-profit making organization, funds are raised by membership fees, entrance fees or donations etc., which are contributed by the society members or the members who have constituted such organization itself. The third point of difference being the financial statements. Well, the financial statements prepared by a profit-making organization are trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Whereas in a non-profit organization, the financial statements are receipts and payment account, income and expenditure account and balance sheet. So these were the differences between these two types of organization. So where's the similarity? Well, the similarity is the accounting records. That is, the way the journal entries are prepared in a profit-making organization, the same way the journal entries would be passed in a non-profit making organization. The same way ledger posting is done and the similar way trial balance is also prepared. That is, after preparing trial balance, we will go for preparing the financial statements of a non-profit organization. Now let us get deeper into this set of organization and learn about its characteristic or its features. Number one is the entity. Well, it is a separate legal entity, which means that all the members of this organization have limited liability. The second one being the purpose. Well, we have discussed a lot about the purpose for which it has been set up, and that is the social service motive or rendering services to its members. The third one being the ownership. Well, this particular type of organization is usually set up for a charitable purpose or for the service of the society. Thus, it is not owned by a single individual or a group of people. Next point is about surplus. Well, since these organizations are performing some economic activities, there is a chance of getting some income. Now, whenever there is income, the expenses would also occur out of these incomes. Now, the difference would arise either surplus or deficit. In a profit-making organization, the same difference is called profit or loss, but we never call it profit or loss, we call it surplus or deficit because it is going to remain in the business for the maintenance of the assets or the furthering activities or operations of this business. The next point being management. The management of this organization is usually done by the trustees or the managing committee. The next point being funds. We have already discussed about raising funds. That is, the source of funds for these type of organization is usually subscription, donations, membership fees. It could be life membership fees as well. And lastly, financial statements, about which we will learn in detail in the further part of this video. Now, when we are talking about the financial statements of this non-profit organization, the first part of the financial statement is receipts and payment account. As the name itself suggests that all the receipts, and mind it, when we are talking about receipts, we are talking about only the cash receipts. So, all the cash receipts and the cash payments are recorded in this particular account. So, you can say that a receipt and payment account is a summarized cash book in a given period of time. So, why not cash book? Why receipts and payment account? As I said, that it is a summary prepared at the end of the year usually, whereas a cash book is prepared throughout the year and in chronological order. That is, as and when any cash activity, be it cash receipt or cash payment occurs, it will be recorded day wise in the cash book. That is why cash book is the book of original entry. It is a journal. Whereas receipt and payment account is the part of financial statement which are prepared at the end of the year. So, in a summarized way, when we get the receipt and payment account in hand, it is beneficial for the management to take decisions regarding the incoming or the outgoing of the cash. And for you, the good news is the record of all the transactions are done in the similar way they are done in the cash book. What I mean to say is all the cash receipts are recorded in the debit side of receipts and payment account, and all the payments are recorded in the credit side of the receipts and payment account, just as they are recorded in a cash book. Now, let us understand the elements of receipts and payment account one by one and in detail. The first thing to be recorded in the debit side of the receipts and payment account is the balance of cash. Well, this constitutes the cash in hand or cash at bank. So, whenever we are talking about a bank balance, that is cash in bank, there could be a negative balance, that is a bank overdraft. So, whenever there is a negative balance, you can record it in the credit side of the receipts and payment account as by balance brought down. But if you have a positive balance in cash and bank, you can record it in the debit side of the receipts and payment account as to balance brought down. The second most important receipt for a non-profit organization is subscription. Now, what is subscription? Subscription is the regular source of income for any non-profit organization because it is a contribution made by the members for the maintenance of this organization and to ensure that their membership continues in this organization. The second point of receipt is general donation. Well, donation is made by a lot of people for the purpose of social work or service to the people at large. So, they may choose a particular type of organization through which they can channelize their money. So, this particular organization would record it as a cash receipt, and if any purpose is not specified for the use of this donation money, it is called a general donation. The second source of income or cash receipt is grants. Well, these grants can also be general grants given by the government or maybe some institutions. Now, if again the purpose is not specified, these are termed as general grants. If the purpose is also specified, then these would be termed as specific grants. Moving to the next is entrance fee. Now, entrance fee is charged once in a lifetime or can be charged annually, depending on the entrance of the members. So, this could be a revenue source of income as well as a capital source of income for this kind of organization. The second is some petty incomes, that is sale of newspaper, sale of old sports material, interest on fixed deposits or interest on investments. Similarly, there can be different kind of events or activities which this type of organization would be performing, like organizing certain shows or concerts. So if any income is earned out of these shows or concerts, it will be termed as a revenue source of income for this organization. The other sources of income could be income from dividend or locker rent or rent of premises as well. What I mean to say here is, just now whatever source of income you have heard are some unique names you have heard for the first time, because it is a special type of organization, so would be having some special type of incomes. But let me tell you that the incomes which we have discussed just now are all revenue in nature. Now, why do we call it revenue in nature? Because they will be occurring many a times in the year as well, or maybe regularly income earning source. So, there are certain incomes or certain cash receipts which are not regular in nature, and that is why they are called capital receipts. But before we discuss the capital receipt, let us discuss the revenue payments as well. Now, talking about payments, then definitely we are talking about the credit side of the receipts and payment account, that is the payment side. So, let us jot down the payments, and you will be happy to hear all the familiar names of these particular type of expenses which you have already heard while the preparation of final accounts of a profit making organization. So, coming to it, let us jot down. Number one is wages or salaries, rent, rates and taxes, insurance, printing and stationery, maintenance and upkeep, advertisement expenses, expenses on shows and concerts, telephone charges, entertainment expenses, audit fees, honorarium, repairs and renewals, postage expenses, newspapers and magazine, prizes distributed, and other miscellaneous expenses. So, I hope you have already heard and have understood these type of expenses many a times previously. Well, that was all about the revenue receipts and the revenue payments. Now, let us talk in detail about the capital receipts and capital payments to be recorded in the debit side and the credit side of receipts and payment account. Listen children, this is very important for all of us to understand clearly the difference between the revenue receipts and revenue payments, and also the capital receipts and capital payments, because this is going to affect the working or the adjustment in income and expenditure account. Because if you are able to sort all the receipts into capital and revenue, then you will be able to understand that which all items would be transferred to income and expenditure account and which set of items would be transferred to balance sheet. Alright, so that is why we have already bifurcated all the receipts and payments into capital and revenue sets. Now, let us discuss in detail about capital receipts. The first one being the sale of investments or maybe sale of assets. Well, this investments or fixed asset we are not going to sell many a times in the lifetime of this organization. So, this is going to happen very occasional in the lifetime. That is why they are termed as capital receipts. Whatever sale proceeds you have received by the sale of any fixed asset or the investment will be definitely recorded in the debit side of receipts and payment account, but these are capital in nature. That is why will not be transferred to income and expenditure account. Similarly, the life membership fee. Well, if any person or a member wants to become a lifetime member of this kind of organization, they will contribute a higher amount as a life membership fee to this particular organization. And this, since is an irregular receipt, will be termed as a capital receipt. The next is specific donation or specific grants. Now, these specific donations or specific grants are specified by the donor. That is, the donor would recommend that this amount which he has contributed to the non-profit organization should be utilized for a specific purpose. Suppose any organization or maybe an individual is contributing say 2 lakh rupees for the welfare of cancer patients, or maybe for the welfare of women, the tribal women, or maybe for any such purpose, then it has to be utilized for that particular specific purpose only and not for any other purpose. So, that is why they are termed as capital in nature, because it has a specific use. The next one being the receipts on account of specific funds. Now, again the same way we have discussed about the donation, it is a same fund received or for a fund received for a specified purpose like prize fund or match fund. That is, to perform a particular type of activity, some of the individuals would be granting some amount to the organization so that it can perform certain type of activities. That is why they are called a specific fund. Now, let us talk about legacies. Now, legacies are some amount which are usually received as a part of will, which is given by a particular individual, writing it as a will to be given to a particular trust or the organization for its use. And this is not going to happen many a times in the lifetime of this particular organization. That is why it is termed as a capital receipt. Now, talking about endowment fund. Okay. Now, endowment fund again is a specific kind of fund with a condition, and the condition being that the organization cannot use the principal amount, whereas it can utilize only the interest or the returns arising out of this particular fund, so that this fund, the principal amount remains intact and only the returns earned out of it can be utilized for the running of the organization. So, that is why this type of fund is also termed as capital fund or capital receipt. Now, let us talk about some capital payments. The first one being purchase of asset or purchase of investments. Now, these assets, that is fixed assets which we are purchasing or investments we are purchasing as a non-profit organization, is not going to happen many a times in the lifetime of the organization. Hence, this occasional payment is a capital payment. Other type of payments can be for purchase of books, it can be for purchase of sports equipments or maybe any other equipment required as per the nature of the organization, or for the repayment of loan. I hope you all have understood about the payments and the receipts, whether of revenue or capital nature, in detail, and have understood how to prepare receipts and payment account. Well, most of the time in the question, receipts and payment account would be provided to you already, and you will be asked to prepare income and expenditure account. So, in the next episode, we are going to learn about how to prepare income and expenditure account. Till then, bye-bye, take care.